Hey guys, it's Tommy CM. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a fairly big episode for Heartland Towers. Not many more episodes to come in this park. I've been sort of tweaking this park off camera just to get it finished. Just get it, kind of finishing up in different areas. Just so there's a couple of more attractions left to put in. Here is the overview of the park at the moment. And obviously there is this space over here that I've not used, but as I said in the last episode, I want this to be a PS4 friendly park. I want it to be accessible by all PS users, and I don't want to just kind of build for build's sake. I want to, I feel this park kind of fits the size that I've done it, and I think if I start building out here as well, I'll just be kind of building for no reason. It would just be purely because I can, and I don't think that's the way to build a great park, to be fair. So so that's the sort of idea I've gone for. Obviously, later on in this episode, we will be building the coaster that I asked you about in the last episode. So do stick around for that, and whilst you're waiting, do feel free to hit the subscribe button down below. Go on, just give it a little click. There you go. Thank you very much. So basically what I've done is I've just kind of done all the way around the back of the park. I built a river kind of going out through this tunnel here just to kind of split off just kind of run the river through the park, which we've got going from the front down here. I think that kind of tails off nicely at the back. And then I've just got some woodland at the back because it is a lot of the park is based in woodland. There's a few themed areas, but it is very kind of littered with trees, so that's what I thought I'd do over there. Now, obviously, later on, as I say, we are going to be building this launch coaster, and I will kind of give progress updates throughout this episode on that. But what I do want to show you is what I've done off camera before this episode, and that is build the River Rapids ride that I mentioned in the last episode. So I wanted to kind of carry on this rock theme that I've got from Pulse, the very first ride we put in the park, this coaster. And I figured that putting a River Rapids ride on the sort of mountain here would do that better. Now, I'm not a huge lover of the rapids rides in this game just because of the speed. I'm sure if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll know that. I do think they go very slow for a rapids. But what I have tried to do is keep them at a constant drop. And I think by doing that, it will make the ride that little bit quicker. So so that's what I've gone for, and I've given it some basic theming, not masses, a few water effects. I've got fencing all the way around. Please excuse the gap here that there is no fencing on. I built the track, I themed it all, and as I was going around, I realised that little section is out of bounds, so I can't build anything there, which is really frustrating. But I didn't want to kind of mess with the terrain too much because I got it all to work really well. I don't want to mess with the track either. So, so there is just a little gap there. But other than that, everything is spot on. And I've gone around a place like life rings, etc. And obviously the cacti and the water effects, etc., etc. So we will we'll go down here and we will take a quick look on the not so Grand Canyon. That's what I've kind of gone for here. Just basic cattle pen queue line with the sort of rope fencing. For the station here, I've gone over the fencing itself with the wooden panels, and I think it has a really nice effect as well doing that. Half the station is cut off with the rocks, so you can't actually see half of it, which again I think looks really nice. So I'm really am pleased with how this has turned out. So we will hop on here and we will have a look at the not so Grand Canyon. Let's pause it and grab that boat before it leaves. Now to find which one it is. It is this one, and we will do chase, I think, because I think that's the best view for River Rapids. So let's go. And there we go, back into the station. So, as I say, really, I really do like how that's kind of turned out there. I think it fits in well with the area, and I will sort of expand that out to this little corner here, and it will meet up with the new coaster that we are going to put in. So, from looking at the comments from the last video, it was quite close between a launched coaster and a B&M invert coaster, but I believe from my counting, if I'm not mistaken, the launch coaster just about pipped it. So that is what we're going to use. So we'll go on here and we shall go for a launch coaster, and I will come back when it will be a launch vector coaster, and I'll come back when I have built the coaster so we can take a look at a POV. And you can see the track layout that I've gone for. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. So I have now built the launch coaster. Now the style I've gone for is one that sort of stays low to the ground, stays sort of tree height and slightly higher. And that, to be fair, that was suggested by both M&J Games and Coaster Creations, so thank you for that. I didn't want to have sort of like a really high coaster on this. I wanted it to be, to be sort of be able to blend in with the scenery and the terrain. So yeah, part of the next job will be to put the trees etc. around this. But I just thought I'd show you the layout for now anyway. So essentially, we start off with the launch down here, sweep round across. We come over the water on 3 different occasions, which I think is quite a nice feature of the coaster. It has got 2 inversions, so as you come over this way, you have the one inversion there. As you come over the water, and you come back around, you go through another launch, and then you have this bigger inversion just here. The sort of inspiration I had for this ride came from a mixture of both Rita, Queen of Speed, or just Rita now at Alton Towers, no longer called Queen of Speed, of course. So Rita and of Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Icon, personally, after riding it the other week, is definitely my favourite coaster in the UK. Incredible coaster. So yeah, I've kind of took a mixture of both of those. Because they are both sort of fairly low to the ground launch coasters. Icon has a bit more height to it. Rita at Alton Towers has a is more low to the ground because of restrictions due to planning at Alton Towers. So that's what I've kind of gone for. But I wanted it to be a fairly lengthy coaster, hence why there is a double launch on it. So yeah, I wanted it to kind of fill this space, use the terrain there. That's the overview of the layout, just in case you do want to take a look at that. And then down on the station just here, I will be putting in a transfer track just at the side here, and then having it all tucked into one building. I'll have a bit of track kind of poking off the end here and going in there. So yeah, that is pretty much what I've gone for. As I say, the rest of this area here, all around this coaster, will be blended in with trees. So once that is all themed, it will just leave this sort of section of the park left, and it'll probably just be a case of putting in a few food and shop outlets, and then also maybe 1 or 2 flat rides just to kind of finish off this area and merge these 2 sections together, because obviously we've got like the wooded area and then the Rocky Mountain hills over here. So yeah, once these 2 areas blend together, as you can see, I've already sprayed the terrain sort of where I think there will be, but that can always change. Once I've done that, then that will be towards the that'll be pretty much the park completing. So I would hazard a guess that would potentially be in the next episode, because later in this episode I will theme this coaster just so you can see what it looks like in the end. And then as I say, in the next episode I'll probably be finishing off the park there. And then after that, it will be time for a park tour. So, I've not come up with a name yet on this coaster. I will have a think whilst I'm theming it, but I haven't come up with one yet. So yeah, I'll have a think and I shall let you know what I come up with. If not, I will ask for your suggestions. I am open to suggestions if you want to drop them in the comments below. I mean, whatever I come up with, I've not got the best imagination for coaster names. So, yeah, whatever I come up with, I'm sure won't be the greatest name on earth. But, yeah, if you want to drop any suggestions in, I'll more than happily take a look. And if I do like your suggestion much better than mine, which is quite likely, I will change the coaster name to whatever is suggested. So, yeah, I'll see you shortly when this has all been themed.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And there we go. So, as you can see, there is a lot of foliage, a lot of trees have gone in. And it really does kind of make the coaster now blend in with its surroundings. As I said, I wanted to keep this launch coaster quite low to the ground, but still wanted to have it having a little bit of airtime, a little bit of like a few high moments, etc. Especially like over the water here, and this inversion as well. I really like. I think from down at the from down at guest level down at the path, I think that inversion there really does stand out. Obviously, if we are down here, there is elements that the guests will see the train, and I particularly wanted on this corner just here, for the guests to be able to see the train as it comes past quite close to them, before it goes into that second launch. So yeah, really am happy with how that looks, and then the station, the queue line. I've just got a cattle pen at the minute. And the station here, I've gone for a little bit of a different design. I just wanted kind of a different shape. And you can see the transfer track there. So if we go in the transfer track first, you've got the train just sat in there with a staff door. And then if we go into here, here you can see the station. Nothing too fancy with it. Just a bit of a bit of lighting, really, a bit of a different shape, and then the hazard strips. And then if we flip to night time, that's what it looks like in here. So it is nicely lit up, and I wanted these like fence panels sat on this wall here. I thought this was quite a different touch to have on a building. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with that. Now what I have decided to call this ride, and I've not put a sign on the front yet. I will do that afterwards. I've called this ride Mother Nature. I was going for something like the Force of Nature or something like that, but I thought Mother Nature sounded quite good. So yeah, that's what I've gone for. So I think we'll take a on-ride POV and see what Mother Nature has to offer. So yeah, here we go. And there we go, that was Mother Nature. Now, I did notice on that run, that for some reason I didn't notice in all the runs before, there were just two trees, I think that one, that got in the way of the track, and I believe it was this one just here. So if we move them. But yeah, other than that, that is the coaster we've put in this episode, and that just leaves this small little area here. So yeah, as I say, I wanted this to be a bit of a smaller park, a bit of a thrill seekers park, but with a few flat rides in, a few family attractions, and then it's mainly set within a forest, as you can see, with all the trees around, but with a few different themed areas. Hence the rocky hills here, and the wind turbines and the human turbine in the middle. But I think other than that, it does fit in really well. I do like how this park has come together, really. I do wish on the edge here that it wouldn't just go up in a straight wall when you change the terrain, but there we go. I'll probably put in a few more food and drink outlets over here. Maybe one or two flat rides, and just kind of finish off the area nicely, really, and try and merge the rocks with the trees quite well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And I shall see you in the next episode, which will probably be the penultimate one, with the last episode being a park tour. So getting close to the end now. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.